Squid Game Season 2 is packed with intense moments, but what if I told you there are entire scenes that never made it to the final cut? Here they are. The players walking through the Squid Game facility created an eerie, almost endless, maze-like feeling. But in reality, the set was much simpler than it looked. If we pay close attention to the floor, we can see that it's completely blue. That's because the production team used CGI to add extra floors below. Instead of constructing an actual multi-story structure, they filmed everything at ground level and later made it look like a massive tower in editing. We've seen similar tricks in other scenes, where staircases and walkways seem to stretch endlessly. But behind the scenes, the actors were simply walking through a carefully designed set with blue backgrounds. The illusion was completed with digital effects. The giant doll in the game wasn't just a prop, it was completely real. The actors filmed their scenes facing it directly, making the whole experience feel more intense. But while the doll was real, not everything around it was. If we look closely at the background, we can see blue walls surrounding the set. These were used to add CGI effects later. Instead of building enormous walls by hand, the production team created them digitally. It saved time and allowed for more control over the final look. The aerial shots of the location weren't what they seemed. The production team filmed an empty island from above, and later added the entire doll set using CGI. So in those wide shots, nothing was actually there. In the first episode, a policeman discovers a clue about Squid Game. To investigate, he climbs a tall building on a rainy night, but in the behind-the-scenes footage, we see something different. Instead of the actor, a stunt double is the one scaling the building. If we look closely, the stunt double has ropes attached to his back. These ropes help him climb without much effort. The entire sequence is shot with the double, right until he reaches the window. Then he is swapped out for the actor to complete the scene. So while it looks like a risky stunt, it's actually all about smart filmmaking, and this is just one of many deleted scenes hiding behind the making of Squid Game Season 2. We also get a behind-the-scenes look at how the elimination of player 188 was filmed. In the series, she couldn't stop shaking from fear, which caused the doll to detect her movement. That's when the North Korean guard had to step in. The scene was tense, but in reality, it was a carefully planned moment with camera tricks and post-production magic. That massive piggy bank filled with prize money? It doesn't exist either. It's been a key part of the game since Season 1, but in reality, it's just a visual effect. In Episode 5, the North Korean woman gets into a fight with two guards after a disagreement. But behind the scenes, things looked very different. The actress herself didn't perform the intense fight. Instead, a stunt double took on the heavy hits and movements. The actress only appears in close-up shots where her face is visible. And while the fight looked brutal on screen, the behind-the-scenes footage reveals that the hits were actually delivered in slow motion. Editing and sound effects made it all seem much more violent. By going frame by frame, we can even spot a moment where the stunt double's face is briefly visible. When the character falls to the ground, the double quickly covers their face with their arms. The scene then cuts, and we transition to a close-up of the actual actress to keep the illusion going. A behind-the-scenes photo from this sequence also gives us an interesting detail. The actress is shown resting with a streak of blood on her cheek, likely taken after filming the moment where the guards cut her face. But in contrast to the intense final shot where her head is pressed to the ground, the photo reveals that between takes, she was given a pillow for comfort. A behind-the-scenes photo from the doll game shows Gi-hun and player 120 next to a fallen player. In the series, this was the man they tried to save before he was shot. But there's something different in the raw footage. The actor playing the dead man was given a blanket while lying on the ground. Since the scene was filmed outdoors on a sunny day, this was likely to prevent him from getting burned on the hot floor. What's interesting is that in the final scene, the blanket is completely gone. If you spotted this detail before, drop a comment and let us know. You might have sharper eyes than the editors. A behind-the-scenes photo captures the intense bathroom fight scene. This is the moment that Thanos jumps on top of the YouTuber, ready to strike. It's also where his character meets his end. Seeing how this was filmed gives us a glimpse into the careful choreography behind these action-packed moments. But there's another photo that stands out for a completely different reason. It features Jo Yuri, the actress who plays the pregnant player, alongside the friend of the trans player, the one who didn't survive the carousel game. At first glance, there's nothing particularly revealing about this image. No special effects, no stunt doubles, just two actors posing together. But the real surprise? From this angle, they look nearly identical. The resemblance is so strong that if you didn't know better, you might think they were the same person. A behind-the-scenes selfie from the Squid Game season 2 premiere shows several actors posing together. Among them are player 120, the recruiter, and the YouTuber player. But the most surprising face in the photo? Ali from Season 1. His appearance at the event raises questions. Could this mean he has a small cameo in the future? It wouldn't be the first time a past character appeared again. In Season 2, both Sang-woo and Seongguk briefly return. They showed up in Gi-hun's nightmare, with the frontman haunting him by holding their severed heads. With that in mind, it wouldn't be too surprising if Ali also makes a short return in Season 3, maybe in a memory, a nightmare, or even something more unexpected. A clear photo of Min-soo playing Gongi in the pentathlon has surfaced. But there's something strange. This shot never appears in the episode. In the final cut, we only see a brief glimpse of Min-soo as he gets insulted for failing. There's no proper footage of him actually playing. This suggests that more scenes were filmed, but later removed during editing. So, while we didn't get to see Min-soo's full Gongi moment, at least we know it existed. New footage reveals how the big battle in Episode 7 was choreographed. In the scene, Gi-hun and his group pretend to be dead before launching a surprise attack on the guards. The videos show the stunt coordinators practicing the movement, but not in the usual dormitory setting. Instead, they're in a plain rehearsal room, running through the scene step by step. Later, they do a full practice run in green uniforms. But there's something odd about that. In the actual episode, the fight only happens between players and guards. There's never a moment where players battle each other. So, why are both stunt performers dressed in green? Most likely, they didn't have pink guard uniforms available for the practice session, so everyone just wore player outfits instead. In the bathroom fight, there's a moment when Thanos slams the YouTuber onto the floor. At first glance, it looks brutal. But there's something interesting happening. Neither actor used a stunt double. That means Choi Sung-hoon, who plays Thanos, had to make sure his co-star wasn't actually hurt during filming. If we look closely at the first throw, we can see Thanos carefully holding the YouTuber's head to keep it from hitting the ground. His body takes the fall, but his head stays up. They redid the shot, and in the second take, Choi used his hand as a cushion. Even though the YouTuber's head touches the ground, it lands softly on Choi's palm. Thanos may be ruthless in the show, but off-camera, he's making sure his opponent walks away in one piece. In the showdown between Gi-hun and the recruiter, we get a glimpse of how the actors prepared before filming. One small but important detail stands out: the strong red light shining behind Gi-hun. This isn't just for aesthetics. In the final version, it casts a dramatic glow on the recruiter's face, helping to create one of the most memorable moments in the scene. The recruiter's expression is particularly striking. Half of his face looks calm, while the other half appears menacing. That eerie contrast is all thanks to careful lighting. The red light enhances the sinister side, making his dual expression even more unsettling. Director Hwang Dong-hyuk was also deeply involved in perfecting this scene. In behind-the-scenes footage, we see him guiding Gong-yu, instructing him to exaggerate his facial movements, specifically to show his teeth. That's why, in the final shot, the recruiter's face is so intense just as the gunshot goes off. Some behind-the-scenes photos capture moments that never made it to the screen. In one, Thanos is seen posing alongside the girl from the first game, the one who tragically lost because of the bee. Standing next to them is Gi-hun-soo, Thanos' biggest fan, who later faces betrayal in the Carousel game. This photo is interesting for one reason. Gi-hun-soo finally got his selfie with Thanos. In the actual show, he tried to take a picture with him at the very beginning, but things didn't quite work out. However, off-camera, he finally got his moment. It's a funny contrast to their in-game dynamic, where admiration quickly turned into disappointment. A little victory for Gi-hun-soo, even if it's just for a picture. Behind-the-scenes footage often reveals details that never made it into the final cut. One major change happened during the bathroom fight. In the version that aired on Netflix, the YouTuber throws a punch at Thanos, but Thanos easily dodges and counters. However, early footage shows a completely different outcome. Originally, the YouTuber was supposed to land the hit. Thanos doesn't sidestep, he actually takes the punch, and his reaction shows it. What's even funnier is his friend's response. At first, he's laughing, but the moment he sees Thanos actually get hit, his face changes completely. For whatever reason, the scene was reworked, and in the final version, Thanos never loses control. It's interesting to think about how this small change makes him seem even more untouchable in the fight. But at least in one version, the YouTuber had his moment. Too bad it didn't survive the edit. These little insights might change the way you watch the show, or at least make you wonder what else was left on the editing room floor. Did any of these surprises catch you off guard? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.